Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Pearl Osa, Life of Interruptions, and I'm sending you peace, love, and happiness to whatever part of the world, whatever time zone, whatever language, whatever frame of mind that you are in. This is January. It's the last Friday of January, people, and we are now getting into 2020 for real. It was so important that we do the video that we're going to do today. We're still talking about how to enter this new year and this new decade. So it's been a series, and in the first one we spoke about resolution versus vision. Then I had the hubby over, and he then shared his take on the topic, where he spoke about the fact that the state of the heart determines your capability of downloading a vision. I also had the children on, and they were talking about, or we were talking with together. I was talking to them, they were talking to me, whatever. We were talking about their take on casting a vision as opposed to having a resolution, and just, you know, being in the state of mind that they're at, with youth on their side, with time on their side, but being deliberate and being purposeful and planning for the future. So today we're still talking about this topic, but I want to take it from the angle of Thanksgiving. There's a song that's just been playing in my mind. You might know it. It says, "Oh Lord, I'm very, very grateful for all you have done for me. Oh Lord, I am very, very grateful, and I'm saying thank you, Jesus." The reason this concept of starting off with gratitude is so important, it's almost like he owes you at the beginning of the year. It's like, I thanked you in advance, I've paid up, and your Thanksgiving is not paying, but I just want you to grab the concept. It's like you give an exchange, a currency of exchange, which is Thanksgiving, in advance. And now you've got to receive the goods for which you paid the Thanksgiving. I'll tell you a time when I tried this. I did this when, oh, by the way, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you are in the know when we load something new. So I went to Wits University. And when I was graduating, it was time to now start looking for work. I don't remember going for many interviews. I remember one. I really don't think I went for another. I went for this one interview for a specific company, and I won't mention the name of the company. Any of my colleagues who worked with me at my first job will know what I'm talking about. But I went for the interview. I thought I aced the interview. I had a really good time. And then when it came time to receive the contract, this is what happened. There were 15 of us that were being taken in from universities across South Africa, from the Western Cape, literally across the country. And 10 of those entrants were white, and 5 of us were black. Now, it so happened that the 10 that were white were taken on full employment. And the 5 that were black, such as myself, were taken on as interns. Now, I don't really understand the concept because we'd come from the same universities. Many of us were really top performers in our schools. So I don't know if it was a case of the marks or a case of, I don't know. You can do the math and try and figure out by yourselves what you think it amounted to. But I will tell you, I was offended. I was offended. I remember when I was young, my mom would say to me, you know how you have parents who would always tell you, go to school, don't be a revolutionary, don't join bad gang. Well, they don't say don't be a revolutionary. They say don't join a bad gang. Don't hang out with the bad kids. In Nigeria, they say don't join bad gang. But my mom always used to say, don't go there and be about some cause, you know. And I never saw that in myself. I didn't know that I was this activist kind of individual. She said, don't go there and be about some cause and start fighting for some cause and being an activist, and just face your books. So the activist in me came out at that time when I received this offer. In fact, I received the offer. I'm not really clear on what it's about. But when we went for the induction, at the induction, then you see there's 15 of us that made the cut, 10 white, 5 black. All the 5 blacks are interns, and all the 10 whites have been fully employed. And our salary was a stipend, as you would give to any interns. It was probably about half, if not less than half, of what our counterparts were earning. And for me, it looked like it was just based off the color of my skin. Now, I'm not trying to start anything racial. I'm stating the facts. I'm stating how I felt. I'm trying to lay a background for the situation. And initially, I thought to myself, I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to take this. There is no way that I cannot get something else with my saying to my young self, my giftings, my skills, and my talents. And I think my old self still believes that. You've got to believe that about yourself. But then I got this epiphany that just said, I literally had this conversation with myself. Pearl, they don't. And so they've made a decision on the basis of what they think they know. Here's your challenge. Go in there and show them what you know and make it a shared knowledge. You go there and let them know what you know, that you are capable, that you are able, that you're worthy. You can't fight the battle from outside. Go in there. So I accepted the offer. Went in and we started on this, lower tier than our peers. But can I tell you what I did every night without fail? Every night without fail, I would say my prayers. And when I was praying, the one prayer I said was, Lord, I thank you that I already am who you say that I am, that I'm not defined by this role. I'm not defined by what man has tried to make of me or what box he's tried to put me in. And therefore, I thank you that you will reveal me to the necessary people as such, and that you will give me this opportunity and open this door. And I am getting my promotion at the end of this year, because it was a trial period till the end of the year. Every night without fail. I didn't come and ask to be promoted. I thanked him that I had been promoted. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? The year did not end, people. The year did not end before I was duly promoted. And of the 5 of us, there were only 2 of us that made the cut before time. The remaining 3, I think they got their promotions much later. I'm not really sure what their stories were, but they were not promoted at the same time that we were. And I think that the differentiating factor for me, because I do think that we're all very capable individuals, the differentiating factor for me that I know of was that I gave thanks every day in complete faith that I had received what I had received. Did it start as a positive situation? No, it didn't. So for many of us, is January starting positively? No, it's not. I mean, over December, there were deaths, there was reckless driving, there were the war and the femicide continued. I mean, we were hearing about women disappearing and being killed, and things continue to happen in our nation, on the globe. Australia has been on fire, literally the entire December period. It's been crazy stuff. People are broke. It's January. They're tight. There's been family-based depression that happens. I don't know if you know this, but December is a time of depression for many, many people, because I guess one of the reasons would be that they go back to family, they have these big old reunions, and you're being compared to a brother who's made good, a sister who's gotten married, and you might be facing a retrenchment in the new year. You might not have had the new job, the increase, the raise, the marriage, the children. There might be so many things going on, and then you're facing these bills. And maybe even to prove to people, you spend more than you actually had to prove. You've been unwise in your decisions. Some of us, like me, were on these weight loss journeys, and then come December, we just threw caution to the wind. I remember my daughter got into this thing over the holidays where she'd just be like, I'm going to make you breakfast. And she, along with her brothers, would make us a huge breakfast, pancakes and steak. And guys, I'm supposed to be counting calories. Now that I can do on my cheat day. Can I let you know that the Christmas period became a cheat month? Like, I just went crazy. And I put so many pounds back on. When I started to measure myself after Christmas, I was back to the weight just before the holiday started, like a week before the holiday started. And it's not a nice feeling, because I know the other day I was just joking with my husband. I was holding onto my smartphone while doing all of my exercises. I attached it to myself. And the health app only measures steps that I've taken. So there I am, I'm lifting weights, it doesn't count that. I'm doing squats, it doesn't count that. It only counts when I'm skipping rope and when I'm jogging. And so it tells me you've burnt, like, guys, I spent like an hour or so on exercise. It said about how many steps, 3,000 odd steps it counted. And then it told me I had burnt 90 something calories. And then it had the nerve to even tell me that's equivalent to 2 boiled eggs. I was like, listen, Chiquita, I'm not trying to burn 2 boiled eggs. I'm trying to burn the chicken I'm trying to burn the jollof rice, the fried rice, the buttered and sugared glazed butternuts. The list goes on. The bottles upon bottles upon bottles of Coke and Sprite and Fanta and ice cream and trifle and jelly. I'm not trying to burn 2 boiled eggs. I was so infuriated. Anyway, I just had to rant. Somebody had to hear that. But this has been January, right? And mine is a light case. Yes, I make light of it. I'm joking. But there's people with serious issues facing this month of January, and they are down. So I entered this job already feeling a sense of rejection, feeling like the legacy of the past was not ending, feeling like even though I'm a born free generation. Well, was I born free? No, but I mean I'm of a newer generation. I'm not au fait to that extent with the struggles that the older generation had to go through, and yet things have not changed. I really was not impressed. But I went in and I just said, you know what, man doesn't hold my destiny. They don't have the final say. I choose to say thank you. I choose to say thank you. So I want to just, as we wrap up January, I want to let you know that no matter what it is you're going through, no matter what it is you're facing, joy comes in the morning. It's darkest just before dawn, and dawn doesn't last forever. It is but a specific part of the 24-hour cycle. Joy is bound to come in the morning. And when joy comes, is she going to see you with a long face and keep it stepping? Or is she going to come? Joy is a fruit of the Spirit. It is not circumstantial. It's not dependent on what happens, Whether the sun shines or it doesn't shine, he still sits on the throne. And he's still God. His godness is not dependent on our circumstances, our feelings, our situation. So just say thank you. Thank him for all of that which you've received, you've downloaded, and the consequential decisions that you have made as a means to reaching that end that came from him. Because if he said he wants you to do it, guess what? He is going to do everything he needs to do to make it happen. It's not in your hands. So Lord, you said this, I've received it, I've downloaded it, I've believed it, I'm partnering with you, and I thank you that it is already done. I thank you that I receive it. 2020, many people did not make it. If for the very reason that you are not amongst those who died in accidents in December, the very reason that you were not amongst those retrenched, and not amongst those divorced, not amongst those who saw fit to end their own lives. Or, how many people were shot? I read 2 different accounts over the Christmas holidays and into the New Year where people were just shot randomly. There was the Melville killings in Johannesburg. Excuse me. There was it in Mpumalanga? A gentleman on his way to go open his business, and he arrives there only to get shot. These people didn't wake up in the morning thinking this was how the day was going to end. We are here, people. We are within. It is 2020 and we are here. We made it. It is not your alarm clock that woke you up in the morning. It was mercy. It was grace. It is not your decisions, your capability. You remember the man who said, this time tomorrow I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E. And his life was required of him that night. He was called a fool. Because who are you to determine what it is that's going to be tomorrow? You don't hold tomorrow in your hands. So the one who does invited you into tomorrow. You go to that party, and you see, God doesn't throw B.O.B. parties. You know what a B.O.B. party is? Since we are not alcohol inclined, I won't say bring own booze. I'll say bring own braai pack. Ne? He doesn't throw one of those parties where it's like, guys, contribute a salad, contribute a cold drink, contribute meat for the bride. No, he's got it covered. He's got everything you need. And if he invites you and you don't come, he's going to go into the streets and take those who you thought were not worthy. I don't want you to find 2020 at the end of 2020 and you look at people who you were just like, that was my idea. Where did this person just come from? Rock up from? How? People who you had decided in your pretty mind were just not up to scratch, were not, worthy to tie your shoelaces. And guess what? They showed up at the party, and they showed up with gratitude. And the master of the party welcomed them in and fed them full. So let's get to that party. Let's arrive. You see, when you go to a party in Nigeria, they have this culture of spraying. They call it spraying. You dance, and the person who dances the best gets money plastered all over their forehead, tucked into their clothes, sprayed at their feet. They bath you with money. We need to get to the party. We need to be at the front. We need to show that enthusiasm. We need to dance. We need to say thank you. We need to come in. The only way to enter the gates is with thanksgiving. Don't join the bandwagon of the people who are like, January, oh, can't wait till the, no, 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 no. It's a foundation you lay. And if you lay that foundation on murmuring, you're going to go around the promised land and probably never make it in. Get in with thanksgiving. Know that before the year ends, that thing is coming. It's coming. He is the one who's opening doors in this year of 22. I've heard people calling it 20 plenty. And I know there's the complaints about how many pastors have called 2015 was your year of breakthrough. 2016 was your year of, in 2017, you're still waiting. Someone sent me a picture, a meme of a guy with a knife hanging around the corner saying, I'm waiting for the pastor who told me 2019 was my year, because 2019 has ended and it's not coming together. So I'm not trying to make you another promise. I'm just saying, come in thanking him. When you've laid the foundation of thanksgiving, he's there going, I owe no man. I owe no man. You said thank you, now I've got to give you something to thank me for. It's not manipulating. It's faith. It's faith. And without faith, you can't please him, right? So let's get into this. The rest of this year, we've got 11 more months. If you haven't done as you ought to have in the first month, you can start again. We're going into February, and February, many people consider to be the month of love, Valentine's and all that. I won't get into whether or not I believe in Valentine's, that, live and let live. But what I will do is I will celebrate love in the month of February. So we've got a whole lot of love stuff lined up for February, and I'm celebrating love because I'm just a sucker. I am a romantic sucker for those love stories that God penned by himself, that he authored by himself. Those kind that come and interrupt your life. So we'll be sharing about those, quite a few stories in February. Make sure you keep it locked down. And I want for us to meet at the end of 2020. And like I already said at the beginning of the month, beginning of the year, it's going to be great things. And we're going to be high-fiving, or high-five even via YouTube, when you leave a comment or click the like button. We'll be leaving those high fives to say, we said it, we did it, we thanked for it, we received it. Here we are, grateful and on top. So may your gratitude never wane. May all the things that are targeting you to take away your joy, to take away your praise, to take away your smile, to take away your song, may they miss you. May those arrows return to sender. Amen. And may you be on top, stay on top, live on top, thrive on top, and do well in 2020. It is not January, it's just the first month of 20 plenty. It's going to be great. You're going to do great. Love you much. Love you plenty. God bless you.